American poet Walt Whitman wrote a magical poem, "Oh Captain, My Captain," after the assassination of American President Abraham Lincoln. Whitman expresses his sorrow for his idol in the poem. After the U.S. lost their captain, not only Whitman, but people all around the nation mourned for their loss. A captain has a pivotal role in a team, a group, even a country. And I believe that a captain can be meaningful in a person's life. Not to mention if there's more than one. There are two captains in my life who influenced me a lot, and I would like to share my intimate experiences with you. The first one is former captain of England football team, Steven Gerrard. He started to dream of playing for Liverpool Football Club when he was little, and signed his first professional contract with them when he was 17. Gerrard soon became a permanent fixture in Liverpool, and is the so-called one-club man. A one-club man is a football player who has played his entire professional career with only one team. After the 2014 FIFA World Cup, he retired from the position as captain of England because of his age, 34. But he promised his fans that he will continue playing for Liverpool. He has been the top scorer of Liverpool so far since the new season started. But he feels that he can't contribute to his team any further. Therefore, on the first day of this year, he announced that he will leave Liverpool after the end of this season. This broke a lot of fans' hearts, including mine, because he's not a one-club man anymore. However, another shocking but touching declaration moved all the fans in 3 days. Steven Gerrard announced that because he doesn't want to play against Liverpool, he will never sign a contract with any team within England. He's going to play for LA Galaxy in the US. His passion for soccer never fades, and he never gives up on finding ways to devote himself. Even if he thinks he's not as good as before, he's still optimistic and willing to sacrifice for others. Oh Captain, my captain. The second captain is Captain America. Before he became Captain America, he was called Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers applied to join the army 5 times and was turned down every time by being too small, too thin, too vulnerable. But he never gave up. He believed that as long as he kept trying, he would be accepted one day. Finally, the doctor who operated the Super Soldier Project saw him and thought he would be a perfect test subject. Then he got into the army. The doctor thought he's perfect, but the general didn't think so. One day, the general came to the doctor. "I think the strongest is the most suitable one." The doctor smiled and said, "No, I just don't get it. Why you like that poor little kid Steve Rogers so much?" He took a grenade, pulled the safety pin, threw it into the soldiers. All of the soldiers ran, fled, hiding, except one. Steve Rogers jumped to the grenade, covered it with his body, said, "Get it, get it, I got it, I got it." Fortunately, nobody got hurt because the grenade was rigged. Steve Rogers never gives up on trying, and he's always optimistic and willing to sacrifice for others. Oh Captain, my captain. 3 years ago, I suffered from Department of Korea. I was sure that I wouldn't be able to graduate, so I decided to switch my major to radio and television. The first part of the switch major exam was the writing test. Luckily, I passed it, and the second part was the interview. I was even more confident about it. Because I'm an outgoing person, I could express myself, my personalities well through an interview. During the interview, a professor said, yet your academic performances on Korean are really bad. Ouch. That's not even a question. It's an affirmation or an accusation if you interpret it that way. I guess all of you know what happened next. I failed. I didn't get to switch my major. I was desperate and frightened, and I decided to try it again in a year. But do you think the story stopped here and I lived happily ever after? Of course not. A year passed. There's only the interview this time. I was still nervous because my scores on Korean were still poor. But I took more courses of radio and television and had great performances on them. Well, things don't always go the way you think they're going to be. They added a condition that only the first half students in their original departments are qualified. After I realized that I wasn't qualified, I cried bitterly and tragically. I told my mom about that. She said, why not switch to English major? I love English very much, so I took the action. Being a happy English major now, I've learned how to keep trying and being optimistic from my admired captains, Steven Gerrard and Steve Rogers. But I know, to become a better captain, I still have to know more about sacrificing for others. Sometimes, it is the people who no one imagines anything of who do the things that no one can imagine. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Toastmasters,